Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you to our Community Awareness Seminar, where we're going to review the current programs available to you and the community in Radnor Township. To open, on behalf of Superintendent Colarulo, Commissioner R., Commissioner Nagel, we'd like to thank everybody for coming. I'm sorry. And I apologize, Commissioner Luke Clark as well. Thank you, Lieutenant Block. I'd like to thank everybody for coming in reference to our series. Tonight, we will review all of our community programs that's offered by Radnor Police and Radnor Township. The goal of this is the citizens and business owners of Radnor will have an understanding of what we're offering and a chance to actively volunteer or participate in local government, which is a unique thing to Radnor that you can actually get involved and participate. A quick review of what we're going to go over. We're going to have our Civic Ready program, which is done by James Doling, our Radnor Township IT. I will review the Radnor Township Citizens Police Academy. The Radnor Town Watch, we're very lucky to have Community Lead Jeff Stacy seated at the table with us. The Radnor CERT Community Emergency Response Team will be done by Lieutenant Andy Block. Our Radnor Citizens Police Organization will be conducted by Jeff Stacy. Our Citizens Ridealong program will be done by Lieutenant Andy Block. Also, our Religious Leaders Ridealong program will also be done by Lieutenant Block. I will review with you the Chaplain's Training program and a future program that is our Religious Leaders and Chaplains program that we hope to seek future approval from the Board of Commissioners. So without further ado, we will get into our next presentation done by Mr. Doling.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Jim Doling, and I'm going to show you how to sign up for the Township Alerts. So I'll minimize this. Okay, the Township uses a company called Civic Ready for our alert system. There are two ways you can get to the alert system. I'm going to show you how to sign up for it tonight. If you can't remember the website, you can always go to our website, radnor.com, and scroll down and you'll see a little notification icon here. And if you just click on that, it brings up our information. I'm going to scroll through this information because this is all the information that is on the other website, so just in case people were interested in signing up. So if you forgot what the website is, you can just scroll down to the bottom, and right here it says, please click here to visit our Civic Ready website. So if you click on that, that'll take you to the website. If not, the website is radnor.civicready.com. So instead of radnor.com, it's radnor.civicready.com. So this is our notification system we use. You will see here information. The township sends out emergency alerts and also general notifications. They come from the township themselves. Weather alerts are sent out, but they are from the National Weather Service. They are not from the township. Same thing as there are a few other notifications from the Center for Disease Control, the Department of State, and also the World Health Organization. You can actually subscribe a voice phone number. We can send you a voice. Sometimes we send out voice messages. We also can send out text messages and emails, so you can sign up for one or all three if you'd like. One thing I want you to note that the ID, if you do sign up for a voice number, the ID, caller ID number is 855-976-8333. We do that through the system. That way, if you miss the call or you don't get the voicemail, you delete the voicemail by accident, you can call this number back and it'll replay the last message that we sent out. Another very important thing I like to point out is the weather alerts are through the National Weather Service, like I said. And if you were to sign up for a severe thunderstorm alert and a severe thunderstorm comes through at 3 in the morning, you will get an email, text, phone call, or all three. So I'll go in to show you how you can actually change that time if you want, but I just want to make people aware because my biggest I don't want to say complaint, but phone calls I receive are from people saying, how come I got a phone call at 3 in the morning? So that's why I put it in red and make sure people see that. And then at the bottom here, you will see if you have any questions or comments, that's my email address, so feel free to send me an email anytime. If you have any questions, I'll help you with whatever I can. There's other information you can look at when you come to the site, just some information on how to get prepared and making plans. If you are already signed up, or once you sign up, you can always come back and click Manage My Subscriptions here, and you can edit and change anything you need. But for tonight, I'm going to show you how to sign up if you haven't signed up already. So you would just click Sign Up for Alerts, and you would put your email address in here, and I made one. Sorry, I'm not a good typer. So I would type in my email address and click Sign In. And then what it does is it tells you here, because you're first time signing in, it tells you that they're not going to use your information for anything else, and they will not give it to anyone else. It's just for township purposes only. So you click Continue. And then here's the gist of it. Now, like I told you before, you can sign up anytime for any calls, anytime you want. You can also make it so everything comes only between a certain time, which is the one I would suggest, do something like between 7 in the morning and 11 at night, or whenever you go to sleep. Or if you really want, you can get fancy and you can click, I want to specify a time, and you can actually say, okay, I want emergency alerts, 24 hours, notifications, weather alerts. A couple things I want to tell you. The township will only send out an emergency alert if it's an emergency. We're not going to send out an emergency alert for trash pickup or something like that. So we will send it, and we might override it if there's a certain reason, a tornado coming through or something like that, which I know they don't, thank goodness, but if it was, we would probably send it to you anyway and override everything just so you're aware that the tornado's coming through. Our general notifications, we usually do not send out after 6 p.m. at night. That's usually, we'll send it at 6 p.m. after people have gotten home from work and everything, so that's when we send them out. The ones, like I said before, the National Weather Service, they're the ones that they go with the weather, and that has its own time frame. So if you do want to receive phone calls, you would type in your name, and then you can enter, if you want text for a cell phone, you can put your text phone number in. You don't have to if you don't want to. Same thing with the voice. So what I would do for my cell phone is I would put my text number and my voice number in there. Then I would add another number, and you don't need to put another name in. You could just do another voice number, so that would be my home number. You can add phone numbers for family members, as many phone numbers as you want. So if you have a big family, the spouse, you can put both their numbers in as well too. You can click to enable the T, TY, and TDD enable messages if you like. If I'm going too fast, let me know. So then the other thing, this would be for the weather alerts. If you do want to receive the weather alerts, you have to add your address. So what you would do is you would want to include your address. I always just call it home. You could call it whatever you want. And then you type in your address. And then you would do show address on map, and it'll show you where you are right there. And then all you would do is just submit address, and then your address comes up. So now you can receive any kind of weather alerts you like. And then here's the biggest thing is you would sign up for your emergency alerts. You would just click, you want to receive your voice, your email, or your text, however you want. Same thing with the general. And then for the weather alerts, like I said, depending upon what you're signing up for, if you want to do an anytime thing, I would suggest maybe just like tornado warnings, and really no email for the tornado warning, because that won't help you too much, I don't think. And then down at the bottom, there are a few other ones from the Centers for Disease Control Department, State World Health Organization, which the township has nothing to do with. They would just send out emails, travel alerts, travel warnings, any disease outbreak news, things like that. So once you're finished, you just would save and sign out. And then it tells you here that your script, it has been changed but not confirmed. So what you need to do is you need to go to your email, and hopefully you'll receive an email, and you just need to confirm the subscription. So you just click on that, and it says Office Emergency Service for Radnor Township, and then you would just confirm your subscription, which takes you back here. And you just, once again, you could look one more time to make sure you like everything you see, and then you would just confirm and sign out. and you are good to go. If you have any problems, any questions, if you want to change anything and you can't figure it out, just give me a call, 610-688-5600. I'm extension 164, or you can shoot me an email at jdoling@radnor.org. Like I said, my email address is right at the bottom of the main webpage at radnor.civicready.com. So, anybody have any questions at all? Is that really quick? I'm sorry. I like being behind the camera, not in front of it, so sorry. You can't see I'm really shaking right now. Thank you very much. All right. So, bring these guys back up. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Jim.
Jim, thank you very much for that. That's part of our programming for the township. It's very important, whether you live or work in Radnor Township, that you know that those alerts and emergency notification systems available for you at no charge. And I'll use, obviously we can think of a big snowstorm or an evacuation. Clearly it's time that we'd use it. But we also used it under the authority of the superintendent for Villanova University's championship game, where actually the IT members sat in the command post and were able to send out broadcasts through our Civic Ready and Twitter, letting people know about changing road closures and other things as they develop. So it's not just emergencies. We have some very good school partners in the audience here. We also go over our road closures and school emergencies and crime alerts. So even though you may live in another jurisdiction, but you come to work in Radnor Township, please take the opportunity of this free service and use it to your abilities to stay involved and know what's going on. We're going to move right into our community programming, and each of us sitting up here are going to review some very, very important things to go on, but I believe that we set it up so they build together and show the end result of community being involved in Radnor Township. So we'll start off with Radnor Township announces our Citizens Police Academy, and actually thanks to Mr. Jeff Stacy, we actually were able to bring that program. Jeff challenged us just a little bit to get it off the drawing board, and we certainly weren't the first police department to do it, but we're thankful that we waited and were able to craft a great program together and have 2 successful classes so far, and we have another one scheduled for this coming 2017. Just real quickly, the Citizens Police Academy is 9 instructional sessions, has classroom instructions, practical field exercises, and part of the practical field exercise is actually riding along with the police, so that you form an educated, well-opinionated opinion of the police department based on your own eyes and the expertise and the training that you've obtained from this program. And we found a lot of success. We've heard an extreme amount of stories saying, I just didn't know this much went into policing, or that you followed this many rules, policies, procedures, the equipment, the training. So it has been a very good partnership that, frankly, all of the police officers participate in. Some of the programs, obviously, we only can have 1 or 2 officers, but the chief has mandated that every police officer at least comes in and visits the group and meets each of the groups each time. So we're very proud of that. Next slide. Obviously, we went over some of the goals, but the benefits are the residents take more of a personal role in their community and the protection of their neighborhoods, while they enjoy safer and closer relationships not only with the police, but their neighbors, local government as well, because the commissioners, the township manager, and staff often come to several of the events. Residents who complete this training will be provided with a certificate of accomplishment and have future opportunities to volunteer with the township. And I won't take up time because Jeff and Lieutenant Block are going to go over that. And this is a no-cost program provided by the township, and it is somewhat costly, and there's a lot of man-hours go into it to make sure that the 9 classes are very intense, very involved. There's really not a lot of downtime in the programming, so we certainly encourage everybody to sign up for it. Citizens Police Academy at radnor.org is at the bottom of the slide. We suggest that you put your name in to be notified about the class. I believe, Lieutenant Block, I think we have 8 on a waiting list, depending on the dates that come up. So the benefits and the people being involved. When you leave here, on the back table are actually some pictures and an article that was done by one of the local magazines on the Citizens Police Academy. So I think that it's a great tribute to those citizens who were able to participate in it. Just real quickly, we have patrol division overview, a firearms use of force, which is probably one of the most spirited events where you're actually put into challenging situations and you get to use the training. Highway patrol and traffic safety, DUI, and accident enforcement. Week 5 is traffic stops, where you'll actually conduct traffic stops. And it sounds easy, but it really is a lot harder. Please ask some of the academy graduates who've gone through it how stressful it can be, even in a pretend way. We do an overview of the local Central Delco SWAT team, our hostage negotiators, and our own Radnor motorcycle unit. We also do a week criminal investigations, juvenile justice system, and we have kind of, if you watch television, the CSI night, the criminal investigations tonight is probably one of the highlights of the program as well. Week 8, we end with the Radnor canine demonstration. Everybody likes our canine dogs, both of them. Our Radnor emergency management and our bomb squad and animal control presentation. And then at the end, again, along with the commissioners, the manager, and the chief, we hold a large graduation for as many neighbors and friends as possible to celebrate the people spending the time here at the township and learning about the police department. Next slide. I'll turn it over to Jeff to talk about our Radnor Town Watch.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jeff Stacy, and I'm president of the RCPO. Just to let you know, this Citizens Police Academy, it is an absolutely amazing program with the support of the commissioners and the manager and Chief Calarulo and the Radnor Police Department. Just to give you an idea, they are now starting to get calls from other police departments. What are you guys doing over there? So it is an absolutely amazing program, and if you have the opportunity to take it, I would highly suggest that. Town Watch is part of the RCPO. We'll talk a little bit about RCPO a little bit later, but this is one of the ways that the people who go through the Citizens Police Academy, and a way that others who would like to participate in the safety of their community can participate in that safety. The organization is probably, I think, and I'll defer to Peggy and Lou, but probably one of the oldest town watch organizations in the country. I'm not aware of any of any in this area, but it's next April we'll be celebrating our 40th anniversary. So it's a very long-standing and prestigious group, and we're proud to be a part of the mission that the police department has put us on. So effectively, the Town Watch is an extra set of eyes and ears on the street. We do a regular weekend patrol. We interact with the police department and the patrol officers who are on duty that particular night. We are also active in supporting community or events that the police department supports. So we were actively involved in the support of the Papal Visit, the Villanova Championship Night, and multiple other township events that require a police presence. So we provide extra manpower and extra help to the department in that manner. I won't go through every single requirement here, but we do ask, you do need to be 18 years old. There is a background check that takes place, and we do, folks who've been through the Citizens Police Academy can move right into Town Watch, but we do have I'll call it a mentoring program, but a field training where you'll have a chance to go out with some folks who have been on Town Watch patrol, so that you're not just going out on your own. So there's plenty of help and guidance there, and we do ask for a commitment of time from people who in the organization. Chris outlined in the CPA, the department puts a lot of resources. The township puts a lot of resources into the Citizens Police Academy, and the service that we give back is part of our way to help them with that cost. So with that, I'll turn it over back to Andy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stacy. Good evening, Lieutenant Andy Block with the Radnor Police Department. It's a pleasure to be able to present this evening with Lieutenant Flanagan and the Superintendent, Jeff Stacy. what I'd like to do over the next few minutes is talk to you about our CERT program. And CERT basically stands for the Community Emergency Response Team. And what is it all about and how did it evolve? And essentially, it started at the federal level through FEMA, through the Federal Emergency Management Association and Agency. And it is pushed down into our state level with PEMA, which is the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency. And essentially what CERT does is it basically trains our residents within our communities to be prepared to respond when there's a disaster that may hit locally or regionally or across the state. Essentially, FEMA and PEMA will tell you if it's a major disaster that your community should be able to survive and sustain with it for the next 36 to 48 hours with your local resources, simply because it's going to take that amount of time for the state and the national responses to gear up and arrive. So that's why CERT is so important to our communities, in that it provides some basic training in the disaster response skills such as fire safety, light search and rescue for the region, and also disaster medical operations. So it's an opportunity for you to come in and, again, support your community. What is really fortunate about this is in Radnor, we are going to be sponsoring another CERT class starting September 22nd, and it will conclude on November 10th, and it'll be held right here at the Township building, which is nice. Like I said, it gets pushed down from the state to the local levels, basically in the region with the county. And we refine it a little bit more here, where we do the program here for our residents right in town. And also, our instructors are local, so we know who we're dealing with. So Lieutenant Flanagan, Sergeant Joe McGuire, and Sergeant George Smith are three of the instructors that will be administering this program. So I highly recommend that if you can sign up to attend this program, to be one of the community leaders with respect to CERT. And it goes hand in hand with the other operations and organizations we have within the township, such as the Town Watch and the Citizens Police Academy and the Radnor Community Police Organization. So it's about the sense of community. And again, there's additional information on the handouts here on how CERT works. I won't drill down on it too much, but again, it's the neighborhood effect. It's basically neighbors helping neighbors. The police department and the fire department, we're here. We're going to be responding to some of those emergencies as a result of the disasters and hazard mitigation. But we can't do it alone if it's a significant and a regional situation. So some of the things that we may be prepared for and we've used in the past are this area, and we're in it now in the hurricane season, where a stage 4 or 5 hurricanes coming up the coast. It's a nor'easter, and it comes in and creates significant flooding. Obviously, the biggest thing we have here is the loss of power. And sometimes it can be for over a week. So we need to start establishing shelters. If it's during the wintertime, if it's a major snowstorm, a blizzard effect, to have warming stations, temporary shelters. And that's where CERT really comes into play to assist us in establishing those shelters, setting them up. We used the Radnor High School in the past, so we need people there to staff it while the officers and the firefighters are out responding to those emergencies. So there's some of the examples that it's the community, just relying on the community members to keep us sustained until the state and the federal resources arrive in our region and our town. So it's important. So like I said, please pass the word on this. If you can participate, we'd love to have you. And also, if you have friends, family, neighbors, the more people that get involved in this, the better the community is as far as our infrastructure and our response. And I will, in addition to that, I will keep going. Being proactive with our community relations and our community support, and in line with CERT, we're also offering public CPR instruction for the public, I should say, by Officer Mark Bates. So there are 3 dates that we have established where we are offering it to the general public. It's Saturday, August 20th at 9 a.m., Thursday, August 25th, at 7:15 p.m. and Tuesday, September 6th at 6:45 p.m. There's no charge for this class. There will be a nominal fee for a CPR card that we are attempting to get waived right now. And again, Officer Bates, he is our certified instructor. Not only does He instruct the police officers in the township. He is instructed and was just recently recognized at our Board of Commissioners meeting for certifying all the township employees in the building here in CPR. And it's vital that you have it. We never know when it has to be used, but it's important to know this skill because it does save lives. So as a result of that, we want to push that out to our communities. Yes, Mrs. Gaskins.
Could we have a flyer, so, because it's not often that you can get a CPR course and pay a minimum amount of money.
Absolutely.
And it's very, very important. I got my certification last year. I have to get it again. But I'd like to, so if I could, or we could put out flyers.
Absolutely, and they're right on the back table, so when you leave this evening, yes, ma'am. So, and we can print more if you need them. It's also on our website as well, so if you go to radnor.com, you can pick that up. But it is out there for the community. The more people we have trained, again, it's all about collaboration. Yes, Chief?
Just to jump in real quickly, if any of you has like a group, you may belong to some other type of organization, whatever, and if you want us to host a CPR certification, let us know and we'll go to your location and we'll do it. Okay?
Thank you, Chief. I wanted to just mention, before we go into the Radnor Community Police Organization, in reference to the Town Watch, a couple of exciting things. The commissioners were nice enough to donate a used patrol vehicle, which has been painted, has a yellow light bar on it. We actually have a unit that goes out on patrol that assists in costs so people aren't paying out-of-pocket money. It was one of the things when we met with the guys who were doing it for a long time, talked about a couple things. So we're very lucky to have the township sponsor a car in support of the volunteers from the community. In return for that, the Radnor Town Watch donated a radio system to Radnor Township to enhance our emergency communication system. The primary function of this radio system, we call it Radnor TAC, is to provide communications for Town Watch and the PD. Radnor TAC has grown across the boundaries that when we have a major storm or a major issue, we issue that TAC radio to the schools, local colleges, and our Public Works Division now has Radnor TAC. All the senior staff in Radnor Township have it, and we're able to communicate with one another without tying up a police, fire, or EMS frequency and have conversations with whoever needs to be up to speed, and it works township-wide. You can hear everything that's going on. So the partnership or the weaving together has been excellent in reference to Radnor Town Watch, and we have some state-of-the-art equipment that we have for that. And actually, Mr. Jeff Stacy's also wearing a uniform shirt that they go out in uniform. It just shows what a level of professionalism our volunteers from the Radnor community are putting forth. So I did want to mention that on Radnor Town Watch.
Thank you, Chris. So if I could just talk for just 2 minutes on the Radnor Community Police Organization. So this is a community-based nonprofit that we started a couple of years ago. And the whole, Chris, maybe if you could click through to the next slide there. So the whole purpose of the organization is to tie together community groups that have a common interest in the safety of the Radnor community and the collaboration with the Radnor Police Department. And so we've done that. You saw the town. We've talked about Town Watch, but we also have a group inside of the RCPO that's Cert Certified. If you do go to the radnor.org website, there is information on the CERT program and a way for you to register there. There's also an application and a section there for Town Watch and an application. So if you want to get involved, we're trying to align ourselves with how the police department's aligned so we can provide the right amount of support as a community to support their protect and serve mission. So we use the training that we get from these, from the Citizens Police Academy and the CERT program to implement our own support for the police department, as well as provide some special support programs, some operation and some administrative support as the police department needs it. So that's effectively the organization. So I guess what I would say to those here, we have a number of RCPO members here. Those of you who are watching at home, if you want to get involved, this is a great way to do it. There's a number of ways to do it, and if you go to the website, the township website, there are applications and information about how you can get involved.
Thank you, Jeff. And just to reinforce what Jeff has just presented and what Lieutenant Flanagan and I have been speaking about all evening long, if you look at the slide we have up there right now, it's our community. So we want to do positive and proactive things for our community. So one, you could do nothing, and we don't recommend that at all. Two, we want everybody to make a difference, to make it a greater community. We have an unbelievable community, and we just want to strengthen our bonds through collaboration, and you can do it through 3 different projects and programs we have here. Obviously, the Town Watch, which serves the entire township and the residents, or community projects that come up from time to time, as well as supporting the Radnor Police Department through the Radnor Community Police Organization and the CERT. So it's very important, and we again we have our supporters here this evening to be the fingers and branch out on this to other people within our community to have more support and more activity and more volunteers. Thank you.
One of the things I wanted to highlight, and I think Mr. Stacy is so close to it, but something that's very unique is that there's something for everybody. As Lieutenant Block said, do something, get involved in the community, whether it's just simply learning CPR or attending our Citizens Police Academy. But the RCPO head is actually a group of citizens who have formed a board or a leadership role that are monitoring all of these different things and keeping people involved and keeping life in each one of these events. And I think that is extremely unique to Radnor Township, something to be very, very proud of. And most importantly, it's our citizens being actively involved in government. One of the things that I did want to also mention for the people watching, besides for the Citizens Police Academy, CERT, and Town Watch, is our special programs. We do have volunteer opportunities inside the township building where you could help answer phone, do some light filing. We have some future programs such as an elderly assistance program, which we're going to hopefully launch in 2017, where we'll make phone calls and follow up with elderly citizens in the township. But there are things to do if you don't want to drive out in the street, do CPR or do CERT. So there's something for everybody. And I did want to let you know that if somebody helped us answer phones for a couple hours a day, that would actually alleviate some of our personnel to do some other things. So there are several things for you to do under the RCPO. And they'll also be launching a website that's going to highlight several different features that they have. And that's going to be coming in less than 30 days, I believe, so that you'll be able really to review these in depth. And again, we thank the commissioners and the chief for their support for that.
The next thing we'd like to speak about tonight is the Citizens Ride-Along program. We've had this program for a long time, and the people that go through the Citizens Police Academy, they each have the opportunity to do the ride-along with different officers. So we offer it to our township residents as well. The main requirement for that is that the person has to be 18 years of age or older. If people are interested, we ask them to contact the police through the phone number posted at 688-5600 and to speak to one of the command staff members. We will arrange this. We'll arrange a time and date that's convenient for you if you want to come in to do the ride-along, or a family member. The only thing that we ask is when you do come in, we'll have you sign a waiver before you go out with the officers. The program is very safe. It's secure. We never put our civilians that are doing the ride-along in any type of grave danger. So when they're responding to different calls with the officers, many of the times they'll remain in the vehicle, or they'll have a view of the incident itself, but they're not permitted in private residence, things of that nature. But most importantly, it gives the resident, the citizen, the opportunity to experience what our police officers experience on a daily basis from the different calls that they respond to. And we've had very positive feedback and comments from the people that attended the Citizens Police Academy, in addition to other residents. And one of the questions that we always get are about routine car stops. And we explain to everybody, a motor vehicle stop or investigation is never routine, because that is the greatest unknown for the officers that they face on a daily basis, because they may see a traffic violation, they activate their overhead lights, and they stop that vehicle to conduct the investigation. It's an unknown when they walk up to that car, what they're going to expect, what could be going on in that car. But through our training, our officers are very proficient at it, and we've gotten a lot of positive comments from the people that ride, not realizing what occurs, and they're essentially on the other side of the steering wheel, if you will be, where they may have been involved previously where they were stopped by a police officer. So now they get to see the officer's perspective and what the unknown is and how they handle those situations. So it's an excellent way to see what the police officers are doing and also to get to know the officers that are patrolling their specific neighborhoods and the officers that are on the police department. So it's something that we have and we continuously recommend to our residents and our citizens to take part of. Thank you. I'll roll right into the next one, which is our Religious Leaders Ride-Along program. The police department here in Radnor realizes that there are many faith-based organizations within the township, and it's also an integral part of many people's ways of life within the township as well. So we reach out to the different reverends and the chaplains throughout the township, and we offer this program, and this is going to segue into the police chaplain core program that Lieutenant Flanagan will speak about in a few minutes. But the emphasis with this is to bring the chaplains on board with the police officers to assist the police officers in different crisis situations that they may experience during their tour of duty. And sadly, we do have some of the most difficult duties as police officers. When somebody passes away, it is the officer's responsibility if they live in the town, if it's a sudden situation for the officer that has to go and make that notification to the family. Very difficult situation for the officer, the family, and the loved ones that are involved. And we do send our officers away for training on this, but again, it's one of the most, and I've had to do it, it's one of the most excruciating duties you have to do is to tell somebody that they've lost one of their loved ones. So bringing the chaplains on board will also help with that. And that's one of the responsibilities we have as a police department when we do these types of notifications, is to find out who their chaplain or their priest or their rabbi may be, so we can contact them and bring them in. And we feel having an additional link within the community with our chaplains and doing the ride-along, again, they get to see what the officers experience on a daily basis. And also, it's good for the officers, again, because we support the faith-based organizations throughout the township, and there are numerous ones here. Lieutenant?
Thank you, Lieutenant Block. Just so you know, 3 churches have already taken us up on the ride-along program, and it's starting to move along very nicely, and we hope that others do. To add on to what Lieutenant Block said, it's building blocks to help us stay a strong community. So there's 2 things that have gone on. With permission of the manager and the chief, we were able to hold a 2-day chaplains program here in Radnor Township, right here in the commissioner's meeting room. Multiple churches from outside the area and inside Radnor's borders took part in this training. This training is very particular to emergency services. It's not just police, it's about fire and EMS. To Lieutenant Block's point, there are many tragedies and loss of life that happens on a daily basis, very unfortunately. But chaplains, just like police officers, need to have specialized training in that and to know how to handle those crisis situations. The reason we did the chaplains training program is, 1, to have another connection with the religious community, no matter what denomination or belief they have. Number 2 is to also have specially trained people to help us should we continue to grow. And that's what we did have in that, and I believe we had over 18 people take the program, which was excellent. And we'll go to the next slide. This is a layout, and I won't read it, but it just talked about the officialness and certification that they did receive through the police chaplain basic training, which also is almost 100% similar for the fire chaplain training, and some people actually sat that over. But we had national speakers, and not only were they national speakers, but they also have responded to several emergencies in the country, including most recently Baltimore, where the chaplains responded and assisted the community during that time. That's just a brief overview, and that was posted on our website, just letting the community know what's going on. Next slide. One of the things that the superintendent has us working on is a future program of religious leaders and chaplains team. This is a very proactive approach to being ready for any type of problem that would come up in the community. If we had to have them respond out for a death, as Lieutenant Block went over, they would be part of the police response team if warranted and called upon. They would go through basically a rigorous background check and a certification and have to be certified in one of these training programs to be able to respond out and assist us. Also, if there is a particular crisis in the community where there's strife, whatever that may be, this group or team could come in and assist this, to be facilitators of communication, relaying information back to not only the police, but our local government, or also church to church, person to person, just being one more way to make effective communication, because often in crisis situations, misinformation takes over, fear and panic then follow, where this team would be boots on the ground attempting to help make sure that everybody has the correct information, and if there was an emergency, that they would be able to bring it up, or if there's a particular point of strife and there's two different groups upset about it, they would help as a neutral party work it down and make sure that it's manageable. Please note this program, it's in the final phase of preparation and will go before the Board of Commissioners and the Superintendent of Police for approval. But most importantly, we have 5 ministers and religious leaders from Radnor Township working on it, and we're extremely excited about it. And I think it's a very, very good thing, very unique to our township. Next slide. As we start to wrap up, we wanted to keep the program short so that if there was any questions and answers, we'd be able to do it. But I would like to take a moment, again, to thank the commissioners, Mr. Zinkowski, for their support of this police department, Mr. Jeff Stacy, and the Town Watch and the things that are going on. And I would also have to thank Superintendent Colarulo for his leadership in pushing the boundaries to make sure that we touch every part of this community. I know it's a pleasure for Lieutenant Block and I to work here, and by him challenging us to do better and give more and be involved more with you guys, the community, I think that by far we're a much better police department. I thank him for that.
Before we open it up to questions, just a couple of things. I'd like to thank Dr. and Mrs. Liu, because they actually came up with this idea because they realized there were a lot of programs and opportunities that we offer that a lot of people don't know about. So thank you, Mrs. Liu. Got some interference here. You'd be surprised how many people in Radnor still don't know we do vacant house checks if you go on vacation. And we tell them that, and they're shocked. So it's up to us to push that out and make sure you know. Just like we will give you a gun lock if you buy a firearm, we have gun locks here, and it's on our scroll and it's on the channel if you're home and you watch the cable channel. But still, a lot of people don't know that, and that's up to us to pass that information out. This is one of a continuing series of public safety forums that we're going to do. The next one that we're planning, and this is going to be news to these guys, but they do such a great job. With the beginning of the school year, everybody focuses on drug awareness. We're going to do something on alcohol awareness, drinking and driving and alcohol consumption. These two lieutenants do a great job on that. We actually have goggles that you can put on. You can put on a teenager, and it gives them the effect of what it would be like if they're under the influence of alcohol. And we also have driving simulators that hopefully we can have them drive with these goggles to see how it can really put you in harm's way, not just yourself, but other people. Just a couple of quick updates, too. In addition to these public safety forums, I just want to let you know, the reason we do such an extensive background that we always talk about, why Radnor has such the toughest hiring standards in Delaware County. Today, the FBI arrested a Washington, D.C. transit officer who was supplying information to a terrorist group, ISIL, and he was giving them information on the transit systems in Washington, D.C. And the FBI has been tracking this police officer. He's a police officer for 5 years. So it goes to show you why we have to have such a rigorous background check. One of the things, too, we're sending 3 of our officers to Florida in September to find the best type of body camera for our officers to wear. Also, we had a gentleman that was in today that showed our staff some body cameras that are out now. But what I would like to tell everybody, that's not a panacea for all the problems that you see on the news right now, because what's unique in the state of Pennsylvania, we have the toughest wiretap laws in the country. So if my officers go into a private residence, they can't deploy that body camera unless they get the permission from the resident if they go into a private residence. Whatever happens in a public domain, you can audio and videotape, providing that the person realizes it's happening. But if my officers are wearing body cameras and they go into a house to handle a domestic disturbance, which, by the way, is the second most dangerous call that police officers go on, they have to have the resident's permission. So just because we invest in body cameras doesn't mean it's going to solve all these problems about, what happened and what precipitated police officers' use of force. So the other thing I just wanted to mention real quickly, on Sunday, September the 11th, is the 15th anniversary of our 9/11 tragedy. At 1 p.m., we're having an event at the Veterans Memorial Park, 400 block of East Lancaster Avenue, used to be called St. David's Park, and Vernon Odom from Channel 6 is going to MC that event. So I just wanted to mention that, and I'm sorry for taking up any time, and now we'll open it up to any questions.
What time is that?
1 o'clock.
We will open the forum up now to any questions from the floor. So, yes, Mrs. Laurie.
Thank you. First of all, this was great. This was really great. Very interesting and very well put together, so thank you. The other thing is, for CERT, is the CPR training part of CERT, or is it separate? As I said, is it working?
Where's-
Is it working?
We'll check with Jim Doling on that. It's on.
The green light is on. Is there no one up there?
Oh, there it goes.
I put this a little farther up.
There you go.
So maybe that's better. Oh, my gosh.
Perfect.
All right. This was a wonderful presentation. Very appreciative for everything that you did to put it together. And also wanted to know, with the CERT training, is CPR training part of CERT, or do we need to do that separately?
That is part of CERT when you're in that. That's one of it. So you'll have some of the medical training, such as the CPR first aid. You'll have some fire training as far as fire suppression with fire extinguishers, things of that nature. So it's a very, very comprehensive program, because essentially you're holding the community together till the state resources can get here.
Thank you.
And you know about CPR too, a lot of people said, well, I don't need to get recertified. I had it 15 years ago. It changes so much, and then there is a different procedure for a baby, for an infant, for a teen. So that's why it's important to always get recertified in CPR.
Next question. It's Commissioner Schaefer. She's on her toes this evening.
Thank you for your prep for this. I just wanted to know, like for the police academy sessions, how long are those sessions? Is it like all day, or is it 6 hours, or?
No, traditionally, it starts at 6:30, and we hope to be wrapped up by 9:30 at night, so it's about 3 hours each night. Some nights run over a little bit longer, and we have the interest, but they're scheduled from 6:30 to 9:30.
And ma'am, the reason it runs so late is because the attendees are so into it and they're so interested that it tends to go longer. When we do our car stops or we do our crime scene investigations, they don't want to go home. So it's a good thing.
Okay.
I'm sorry my husband's not here. Last minute, he had an emergency patient. And we are a proud member of the graduate of the Police Academy 2016-02. I memorized before. Anyhow, my husband is a dentist in Brema for many years, 33 years to be exact. And Peggy Gaskin is one of our neighbors. As you know, my husband also practiced in Philadelphia. So our group of patients are very diverse, from all kinds of backgrounds. Being a family dentist, we have also children. And the talk about the police and the community relationship have been have gone difficult. We thought that it might be good that the better understanding starts from home, from the children when they're younger. And I recommend that each student in Radnor Township go through some kind of understanding coming through the police department of what happened if one get in trouble and what constitute certain thing that is illegal, like we learn in police academy. What if someone is stopped by a police? If the police tell you certain command like freeze, what does that mean? You don't put your hand in trying to get your cell phone to call your mother, and it might be, mother, maybe father too, okay. So it might be signal as something different, and then someone might get hurt. And that's one of the issues that in Philadelphia, patients from Philadelphia mentioned that they would like to be more educated as what's the right of the police and what one should do should they be in trouble. Just have them come through and have a little understanding, maybe very brief program, what we went through with the police academy. And it was very helpful because in the course, when we learn about traffic stops and what constitute illegal things, or what prompted the police to check you for identification or whatever is due to certain procedures, maybe someone calling, and how we should respond to it rather than being a negative, I don't know, communication or police searching you for profiling. So what I'm trying to say is that I'd like to see a program with school children coming through the police department and having a little briefing of what good citizens should be, and if they get in trouble, what they must do. So I hope you understand. Too bad my husband's not here to help me with it, but he's a better speaker. But anyhow, it was very beneficial. We learned all the aspects of what police have to do, and it's not that they try to get you and give you tickets, but they're here to protect you. Okay. Who's next? Peggy.
Hi, I'm Peggy Gaskins. The last 2 years, Unity. This is an organization we have in Radnor. We have used the young people and to get their thoughts, their hopes, and their aspirations. So if anyone can come, we'll be having it on the 3rd Wednesday in September. It's at 7:30. It's a little early, but the breakfast is very good. So anyone coming, they can call me at my phone number, 610-525-6724. And I'll gladly see that you get a form that you can send and mail in, and your seat will be reserved. But she's correct. It's very important we start with the children. And we have something in our neighborhood. It's called the talk. And it's the talk that the fathers have with their male offsprings of what to do and what not to do when you're stopped by a policeman. So I'd like to see that gotten away with, that they'll all know to respect each other. Thank you very much.
Did a good job.
Thank you.
One question, are we going to have an open house for the police department here? We had it a few years ago with activities like even a picnic, and maybe that's a good time to bring family over and look at different places. And then have a little more activities like
We're probably looking at
plumbing and
next
all
spring,
that.
springtime we'll have it.
I thought that was very nice in bringing the family. I really think peace and understanding starts in the family. If you get the children's support and have fun with it, you have a wonderful playground here. And I think it'd be, maybe even filming of what the police academy went through and learning all that, utilize the space and have fun with it.
It's a great idea, and a couple of the reasons why we didn't have it. It seems like we had these major events. Last year we had the papal visit, then we had the Villanova, basketball tournament. The two lieutenants spent the last couple of weeks in Philadelphia working the DNC. So it seems like there was always this major event that happened. So probably in the spring we're going to do that.
All right, good. Really, thank you for all the commissioner helping us in supporting, and I think it's wonderful that we all participate. Go ahead. Yes.
The township manager texted me, this is going to be, obviously it was videotaped, it's going to run very frequently on our channel and our web. So if any of your friends couldn't make it tonight, they'll be able to see it. So Anything else, gentlemen? Thank you so much. Appreciate it.